powerful, riveting piece to get us started here today. Welcome, everybody. Shaq's here, Kenny here, Charles here. And Charles, you're the executive producer of that profile that we just watched with Wondros.
Yeah, and I'm really proud. Thanks everybody at Turner for letting my company do it. Being around Mayor Young, Ambassador Young, and all these older great black men that I've been fortunate, Bill Russell, Jim Brown, Muhammad Ali, Kareem, guys who were really in the civil rights movement. Every time I see those guys, I just say thank you. And that really doesn't do it justice, because I couldn't imagine, I've never not been able to go to a school, go to a bathroom, drink out of a water fountain. So I've never been through no real struggle in my life. I'm not gonna act like I can play like I'm a martyr. But I will say this, we've come a long way, but I was reminded after watching the NFL for the last few weeks about not giving black coaches an opportunity. And it's always an issue with things like that. And I implored the owners to give the black coaches jobs, being general managers, offensive coordinators, defensive coordinators, but also head coaches. So even though we've come a long way, we still have a long way to go.
What did it mean? You guys have all played on MLK Day, correct, in the course of your careers? Shaq, what made it special? Because guys in the course of an 82-game season will say, oh, this is just another game. But what did it mean to play on this day?
It means a lot. He's done a lot. And, Dick Gregory was a friend of mine before he passed away. And we used to talk about the civil rights movement a lot. And his quote was, because Dr. Martin Luther King never showed fear, his courage helped the rest of us face the world unafraid. And I go back and I look at all the times that he was getting arrested or he never really showed fear. So, to learn about this man, to, try to set examples as he did, like that, he got his bachelor's, his master's, his doctorate at an early age. He was super educated. That's why every time you see me, I try to show the peace sign. We still have a long way to go, but he's done a lot. He's paved the way for so many people, as well as all the names that Charles mentioned. But, for us to be able to play on this day, we owe it to him and all the other civil rights leaders and all the other martyrs that have, paved the way for us.
What was your biggest takeaway from the piece we just saw?
Well, I think the biggest takeaway for me is not to minimize or desensitize the effects of not only the civil rights movement and slavery, because these people that we're watching are alive today. They're, all of us whose parents are still alive, we're part of that. This isn't, I have an 11-year-old son, Malloy, and a 7-year-old London. For them, this feels so far removed, when in actuality, they can go to their grandfather, who's in the house with them this weekend, and talk about this exact moment he's lived through. So, and I think that as the internet world and it becomes desensitized that this is one generation removed. And so the effects of that causes the undercurrent of things that happen. Because the conversations that I've had in my household and other people's had in the household that were living through these moments affects the way your thought process is. And once you realize that, then you could change your thought process and say, well, that was right, wrong, or indifferent. But to think that it's far-fetched away and not this undercurrent that still is available and accurate, I think that's what a lot of times where we fail to recognize both sides.
And Ernie, I want to say one thing before we go to break. I want to give my best to Congressman John Lewis, who's battling for his life and who's a true American hero.
We've had him on this very show on this very day in the past.
And I just want to wish him the best. He's a great American hero.
I love how Andrew Young also just described Martin Luther King Jr. that way, saying he was just a well-rounded guy who just happened to focus on saving the world. When we come back, Dr.
Shot. Meanwhile, the Lakers' Anthony Davis, who's missed the last 5 games due to a bruised backside, is now available to play tonight against the Celtics. LA's gone 4-1 without AD, who's averaging over 27 points and 9 rebounds a game this season, including a nice comeback win in H-Town over the weekend. For more, we welcome in our Lakers reporter Dave McMenamin, who joins us this afternoon from Boston. So, Dave, what more can you tell us about AD playing tonight for the first time in nearly 2 weeks?
Yeah, Hannah, the team was certainly cautious with this injury. They avoided a major injury because it was just a muscle bruise and not a bone bruise, but they're going to work him slowly back into things. Team source tells me he's going to be on a minute restriction tonight, but certainly they were happy in the time he was out. The guys like Kyle Kuzma and Quinn Cook, Troy Daniels got to find their rhythm, get some more minutes, but certainly the team that they're going to be in the postseason and beyond, if they get to their championship goal, will revolve around Anthony Davis. So they're happy to get him back. And also the subplot of the game is you're playing against a team in the Boston Celtics that really coveted that guy for years when he was still with the New Orleans Pelicans. It's kind of the Lakers getting to puff out their chests a little bit, but we got the prize piece in this rivalry. You guys didn't.
Well, and the good news is they were able to win without him, and we just showed the reason why an America's favorite sports dad, LeBron James, who is in Springfield, Massachusetts right now to see Bronny play. They're going to tip off that game in just a bit. So what more can you tell us about his schedule for today?
Yeah, Hannah, the team, the Lakers had a meeting that ended around 11 a.m. Eastern at the team hotel. Then LeBron was able to travel to Springfield. It's about a 2-hour drive. And so, this game should wrap up, his son's game should wrap up with plenty of time for him to be able to get back to the TD Garden for the 7:30 Eastern tip and still go through his pregame stretching, his pregame shooting routine, and be good to go. Obviously, the first time he got to see his son play in person, Bronny had a steal and a late bucket to kind of seal the win down in Columbus, Ohio. We'll see if he gets that type of boost having his dad in the stands today. As the Lakers continue this road trip, there are going to be more off-court activities when they get to New York on Tuesday. I'm told a contingency for the team plans to go to the David Stearns Memorial at Radio City Music Hall, where one of the scheduled speakers is Laker great Magic Johnson.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to be there as well. Again, a big venue, and you can imagine all the people from the NBA through the decades who are going to be there to pay tribute to Commissioner Stern. Dave McMenamin, as always, we appreciate it. And this reminder, the Lakers tip off tonight in Boston with AD at 7 Eastern. Yeah, on SportsCenter, good news for the Lakers. Anthony Davis, who has missed the last 5 games due to that bruised backside, is available to play tonight in Boston. LA's gone 4-1 without AD, who's averaging 27 points and 9 boards a game this season. So how are they doing it, including that nice comeback win in H-Town on Saturday? Well, it's this fella named LeBron James.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He's bumped up his points per game to 29, his assists up to 11.5 during those games without Anthony Davis.
The battle of the James. Not really, I made that up. LeBron James and James Harden, both players set the tone for their team to win. But guess what? They've teamed up with other power players, such as AD for Bron and Westbrook for Harden. And guess what? That's also changed the landscape in the West. So when the teams meet for the very first time this season, that is tomorrow night, AD should play. We do not know. We'll be watching. But you could be seeing a preview of the postseason. So let's explore the numbers between the dynamic duos of LeBron and AD with the Lakers and Harden and Westbrook of the Rockets. Our Tim Legler breaks it down.
Both the Lakers and Rockets rely heavily on their dynamic duos.
He knows Westbrook. Westbrook knows Harden.
I think that him and LeBron James are the best duo in basketball.
LeBron James and Anthony Davis are on pace to become just the second set of Lakers teammates since the merger to each average 25 points, joining Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal, who accomplished the feat 3 times. James Harden and Russell Westbrook have combined to average 62 points, on pace to reach a mark no other pair of teammates has touched in over 50 seasons. But how these duos get their points is quite different.
James Harden in the clutch. And Russell Westbrook really starting to feel it now. James lobs it up, and Davis throws it down.
LeBron has assisted to Davis 113 times, by far the most of any passer-scorer combo. They've excelled at the pick and roll, becoming the most efficient duo in pulling off that particular play.
Oh, Russell Westbrook.
Conversely, James Harden and Russell Westbrook often work independently of each other, ranking first and second in points created off isolations per game. They have combined for 590 unassisted field goals, the most of any pair of teammates. But there are often pitfalls to any strong duo. Perhaps missing his fellow superstar, when Davis is on the court without LeBron, the Lakers have struggled, recording a net efficiency that would rank in the bottom 6 in the NBA. Harden and Westbrook have each, at times, been unable to hold on to the basketball. They are on pace to become the first set of teammates to each average 4 turnovers per game since individual turnovers were first tracked in the 1977-78 season. Through the first half of the season, there's been plenty of good to go along with legitimate concerns for each duo in their first year together. But we won't know until June whether either duo is strong enough